Today I'm making ice cream. I have the very good fortune to live in the woods where I get to pick berries this time of year. And I do all kinds of stuff. And there's so many of these wild berry bushes around that I freeze them and I make jam. I have them in the smoothies every morning. We just have them for just about everything. I cook it and pour it over a cake if I'm going someplace. But today, it's ice cream. So I have 2 cups of raspberries, wild raspberries, that I am putting in a pot with a 1/4 cup of monk fruit. I might not even use monk fruit if I was doing a different berry, if I was doing maybe blueberry, or if I had some fruit that was really sweet. Sometimes the peaches are so sweet you don't need monk fruit either. But this is going to take a little while, so we're just going to get it started now. And I'm going to cook this until the monk fruit dissolves. Then I'm going to let it cool. Then I'm going to add coconut milk. My favorite coconut milk, Native Forest. I only had 1 can, and they did not have any at the Whole Food Market, but this is what they did have. So we're going to see what I think of this. Classic, I bet that means Gargum. We got Gargum, but we'll see what it tastes like. I won't buy it again because it's got Gargum. Unfortunately, this one even has Gargum in it. That you want, if you get coconut milk, make sure it's simple, not classic. Whenever it says classic, it almost always has Gargum in it. And I just don't want anything extra. Give me plain old coconut milk. But this is what we've got, and some days you got to work with what you got. So I will be back when this has cooked, dissolved, and cooled. And then we're going to add the coconut milk to it. And then we're going to put it in the ice cream machine. Ice cream! I'll be back. Okay, so I pulled out my ice cream maker and I have my frozen section here. Kind of hard to see. Let's see, push you back a little bit. You can see a little bit. So I took the raspberry and I added the coconut milk to it, and I gave that a couple minutes because sometimes the fat gets separated from the coconut milk. So I wanted to give that enough time that the fat has melted. And I also thought a little bit of cocoa would make it good. Of course, delicious raw cacao. I'm also going to have some vanilla extract. So I'm going to put all this in before I even pour it in. The cocoa powder, that's a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. I'm going to eyeball this. I'm not going to actually precisely measure the vanilla. You want about a teaspoon. And then a pinch of salt. So for me, I've got this really nice mineral salt, but it's kind of big for the salt holes. So, pinch of salt. Pinch. And now I'm going to stir this up. I'm going to put the top on here because you want to make sure that this is moving before you add the ingredients to it. So I'm going to turn it on. There we go. Humming along. And it's not really loud like the food processor. It's a little loud, not terribly. Alright, so the cocoa hasn't really blended, but that's okay. There we go. Ooh, maybe it's not okay, but I will scrape it in. Beautiful raspberries. And now I know you want to see what's going on in there. And that's going to take about 20 minutes, so I'll be back. It's done. Is that amazing or what? My dogs don't understand. Let me go grab a spoon. Down. They would understand if they tasted it. Oh, look. That is amazing. Oh, wow. Look. Oh, that's really good. Now, if you didn't want to use coconut milk, you could use cream. So that was two 14-ounce cans of coconut milk. I probably overfilled the ice cream maker, judging by the overflow, but give or take, there's a bazillion recipes for ice cream, but I just wanted a nice coconut ice cream. So this is vegan, no honey or anything like that, and really low glycemic. So we've got the monk fruit and the raspberries and the coconut milk. None of that is at all high in sugar. And the little bit of cocoa, just because. So good. So think about it. The ice cream maker, you can usually pick these up at a thrift store for a fraction of what you'd pay elsewhere. I don't remember what I paid for mine, and I usually get things at the thrift store, so I sincerely doubt it was very expensive. It's not something that I use very often, but when you want it, what you do, you just keep the base, the frozen part, in the freezer, and when suddenly you decide, I want some ice cream, you pull it out and it's ready to go. So enjoy.